welcome to Remember 64, where this week we are live and we are on our way to kill Dracula. That's right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hello to our returning listeners and viewers, and welcome if this is your first time joining us here on Remember 64. We play and discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between on the Nintendo 64's library. My name is David Petrangelo, and hi, is there a Dracula in this house? Oh, he's hiding? Okay, maybe I'll head to the Rose Garden. Can you help me, lady? Okay, what about the dude sleeping in that old bed? The child running in the maze, maybe? Or the savvy businessman over there? Wait, I thought this place was supposed to be doomed and haunted. Why are there so many people here? Jiggy, look back. Hello, welcome.
Listen, it is doomed and haunted. There may be skeletons, there may be demons, there may be glass people with swords, I don't know, giant, scary, skeletal monster, whatever, but it's okay because I have roast beef I found on the ground.
On the
It's
ground.
what's for dinner.
And I'm not for dinner. The roast beef and roast chicken are for dinner. If any of that is ringing any bells, that is because we are talking about the first two 3D Castlevanias that were released ever up until this point. 1999's Castlevania and Castlevania why did I just miss
Legacy of Darkness.
Legacy of Darkness. I was saying Legend of Darkness. I don't know why
you.
I kept wanting to say it. Thank you.
That sounds cool too.
It does, right? I think it would work.
Legend of Darkness.
Legacy of Darkness kind of makes sense based on what they did with that. So I went on, both of us, but I definitely went on a bit of a journey this week in figuring out what the hell these games are. I am a Castlevania fan. I don't think I've played anywhere close to all of them, probably like half or something like that. But I love it. 2D action, classic. You know, it's one of the franchises that coined the whole Metroidvania term that is used in so many games in so many ways now.
Half of the term for Metroidvania.
Exactly. Not that this game is one of those, although there's elements of it here and there. But yeah, Castlevania. I went into this thinking that there was Castlevania and that there was Legacy of Darkness, and these are two separate games. I quickly learned, or not so quickly, not quickly enough, I would say, learned that these are not the same game, but Legacy of Darkness was released less than a year later and is kind of like a remaster, I would say, with new characters, similar areas. Some are the same, but they are all redesigned as well. And then there's some added sort of graphical touches here and there if you have the expansion pack and stuff. So we'll get into that as we go. But we're going to be talking about both, essentially, is what I'm getting at. Because sure, there's aspects of it that are very different, but there's also lots here that is very much the same. And we are capping off our time here to do the our Halloween or spooky season episode. So Castlevania is what we're at here. Before we get going, just a reminder that, of course, you can catch Remember 64 on social media at Remember 64 Show. Of course, that is where I post all my stupid stuff. And heads up that we have live streams like we are tonight. And we are going to continue to do more games before the end of the year. So lots of announcements and fun stuff and guests coming up as well. So lots to look forward to there. So just keep an eye on the social medias. And of course, you can find this on YouTube, like this episode that is live and the video version of it, because we usually reference, some of the gameplay. We have the commercial we just played, the intro, things like that. Fun way to sort of see us have a good time while we record these episodes. So that is where you can also find us, Remember 64 on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe and all that. And the same with Jiggy's page as well. Yep. Jiggy Look Back.
Jiggy Look Back, all one word. Thank you. I like Paul's comment. I'm gonna shout it out because it's really funny to me. New characters, same roast beef.
And specifically on the ground.
Yes, and on the ground.
It's 100%. True. It's very, very true. And if you want to support Remember 64, you can on Patreon, and you can also support the whole Console Creatures family, which we are a part of. PlayStation Generation, who covers PlayStation news and games and reviews and all that, and the Creature Cast, which covers all the sort of stratosphere of games that's out there right now, the industry. Lots of cool interviews. They just had really good review and video and audio of Outer Worlds 2 is a big one that just is about to drop, and that was a really good listen, a really good watch, so you check that out. But that is at coffee.com/console creatures, and that will go towards all of the shows and all the work that we do as a team. So you can either do a monthly sort of subscription type thing, or you can just do like a little tip for like $1 or a couple bucks or something like that. Everything helps, and we just use it towards better production, more shows, more guests, all that type of stuff. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk Castlevania, Jiggy. Do you have a history with this franchise, and were these games that were ever on your radar that you played before? The two that we're talking about.
This is one of the few series that's probably like super, super big. Everyone talked about it growing up. I didn't really play them growing up. I don't really have a history. I actually think my experience with Castlevania is 100% like within the past 5 to 10 years, maybe.
Okay.
I think the first one I ever played was the one that released on 360, which I don't remember what it is.
I'll look it up. Yeah.
Um,
I'm
yeah,
curious,
yeah,
actually. I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember
Oh,
what it
there's a
was.
couple, and then they've put out like not remasters, but like freshened up versions on Steam and stuff like that. Yeah, I've played one of those too. I can't remember what they're called. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, yeah, it's on Steam now. But yeah, I always I liked the idea of Castlevania. I liked the idea of playing a vampire hunter and going and like killing. Like the concept is really cool. I think when it was in its heyday, when Castlevania was like a really big deal, I was young, and so it was kind of a more mature series, and I think it's just one of those things that I had to steer clear of it just because my mom wouldn't let me. I think if I would have been able to play it, I think I would have found them really hard. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the fence because Super Metroid, even back when I was little, was like one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. And so I think if you put the right Castlevania in front of me, like maybe 4 or this one especially, because this one's becoming one of my
Ooh,
favorite
what do we
games,
got? What do we got?
Symphony of the Night.
Oh, Symphony of the Night. That is the game that started the Metroidvania half of
Yeah.
that term,
Yeah.
because that one is much more of what I would say people would refer to Castlevania type games are. If you play ones before these 3D versions, they have aspects of that, and like I said, these games do
Yeah.
too, but it's much more deliberate in Symphony of the Night. And that game is awesome. That's a really
Yeah,
good game.
Symphony of the Night, you have to
Yeah.
like actually navigate through and like backtrack and like all that.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones you're saying are more like 2D linear, sort of like
There's
just kind
aspects
of
of
go
going
through.
back, but you're kind of going back a couple screens, and then you're going up,
Yeah.
and then you're going down. Maybe you'll reach another screen again, but it's not
It's not as
the
in
Metro.
depth. It's not as
Not
like
as in depth.
crazy.
It's not the Metroid thing where you need your ability to go back to open a door and like those types of things. It's not quite that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a new Castlevania, I'll say fan. I'm just really getting into Castlevania as a series. Like I went back on NSO. There's a bunch of them on NSO on the Genesis
Yeah. Yeah.
expansion
Yeah.
and all that. So it's kind of cool to be able to relive that. I know they released like the DS collection, like remastered, like super cool time to be a Castlevania or to like get into it because all the games in the series are so accessible at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm excited to go through and I like part of me just wants to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, like just like go down the train. We'll see. We'll see if I do that. They feel really hard, the ones that I have played.
They're
And I'm
not
just like,
easy.
man.
Most of them are not easy games. I mean, this one included. I would say that these ones aren't. There's We'll get into the details of why, but they feel like it's up and down with this game for various
Yeah,
reasons. Partially, I think it's the sort of 3D growing pains kind of thing, but
I agree.
but yeah, even the early. I mean, it's like a lot of NES, SNES, those that era of games. They don't hold your hand by any means, right? Like that's not what those games were never developed that way. A lot of them. Castlevania is just another one of them, and they're usually pretty long games. Whereas there's a lot of 2D platformers and stuff from that
Yeah,
era that are like, oh yeah, if you're really good at it and you keep playing it, oh, you can finish this in half an hour. None of the Castlevania
yeah.
games are like that, unless I'm wrong. But I don't think any of them are built that way. They're not meant to be. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
No, they're challenging. And I will say that I did see this game growing up.
Yeah.
Specifically, specifically the normal version, not the Legacy of Darkness. I don't remember seeing that one in particular, but I do remember like seeing the box at the store of Castlevania, which is like one of the few. I have a few games that I saw in like the Walmart kiosk that I can like remember. Majora's Mask, Kirby Crystal Shards,
Mhm.
Castlevania was one of them.
That was
It's just
plain
kind of
that you could
funny.
actually try, or
No, not playing, just
just the
like I remember
box?
seeing the box like for sale. Like I have like this like small little window of like the Walmart kiosk when I was younger. Actually, Majora's Mask is one that was playing as like a
That you could
demo.
try.
But like
Yeah,
there's
that
like a
makes
small,
sense.
there's just like those few games I remember seeing on a shelf growing up.
Oh
That's
yeah,
one of
I
them.
I got a few
I
of
do
those.
remember this box
This
vividly.
wasn't one of them, but I know that Majora's Mask was. I think because that whole mask box art is pretty iconic, and it's kind of hard to not remember that if it was out there. But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's things that I remember at the rental store and stuff that were movie posters or that were game
Right.
box arts and stuff like that. So that's this wasn't one of them for me. But so you never played this one. You never played a lot of Castlevanias, kind of going
Never
into
played
the
it. This was my
interesting.
first
Okay.
time.
Okay, cool. I never played this one or either of these. Again, I know of them and I've seen some video and screenshots, and like that's pretty much it. I was like, okay, it's Castlevania going into 3D, and I would say growing up because despite being a few years older than you and be maybe having more opportunity to play these, they just weren't in my wheelhouse when I was 8 years old. Like it just doesn't seem like one of those games that I would gravitate to when I got my Super Nintendo, or when I had my GBA. I was just playing other things. I had some experience, but I honestly could not tell you which ones I played when I was younger. I definitely didn't own any. I probably rented them. I probably borrowed a couple, but there's so many in the 90s that they made that I don't remember.
Right.
And I do know when I had the GBA, I did own one. I don't remember which one it was. I wish I did. I think it was gifted to me at one point. I don't have it anymore. It's one of the few Game Boy cartridges I don't have anymore for some reason. I probably lent it to my cousin and then it disappeared kind of thing. But in the last, I would say 20 years at least, I've played 5 or 6 different Castlevanias leading up to this one. Symphony of the Night is one of them. I never had a PS1, but I definitely played that game eventually and played it late. Love that game. That game's awesome. And I think I played 3. I think I've played 4 before. Almost all of them that are on GBA, I've had some experience with, if not played all of them, because I just feel like that's a really cool handheld way to play it, and I've had experience doing that either on the emulator devices I have or on the actual GBA through the years. So but yeah, going
Mm.
into this, absolutely zero experience playing these games. Just knowing of them,
Cool. We're in the same
and
boat,
that's it.
which
Yeah,
never happens.
yeah, it almost never happens, especially because like it feels like you've played like 80% of the games that we've that we've covered.
Uh well, I mean, part of that is the N64, that was like my life, and I came in
Yeah, yeah,
at that
the
time
perfect
where it
time.
was like going out. So it was like as I'm super into games, it's going out. That's the much cheaper option. That's the option that my parents could like find games for that weren't like, $50 a piece.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I did have a
yeah.
GameCube, but it would still be a happy day whenever I got an N64 game.
Of course, yeah, 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 of course. And you know
Of
what?
course,
Some of
and,
the
and it
games
still is.
and and things have not changed. We have not grown up at all, and we're going to keep it that way. Um, Tim
I
says
think I've
in the chat,
regressed.
he says, yeah, that's fine. Honestly, even since having a kid, I just want to be more of a kid. So
Yeah, exactly.
like, it
Who
just makes me
cares?
more motivated to be a kid. I don't want to grow up. Tim says in the chat, he's never played one of the Castlevanias in his life, but maybe this podcast will send him down a rabbit hole. Let's hope so. We'll see. Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's get
do
into it.
it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the game and games themselves.
Let me
Um,
let me let me just glaze Castlevania Symphony of the Night real quick because it is
yeah, let's
becoming one
do
of
it.
my favorite games of all time. It's just
Nice.
really, really freaking good.
Yeah.
So, Tim, even if you don't play, I don't know why I'm like cupping my hand to emphasize the point in the
Yeah. You don't have
microphone.
to whisper. It's okay.
Even even if you haven't even if you haven't played all the Castlevania games, just play that one. It's the best one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty. I don't know if it's the best one, but I have a hard time imagining any other game being better than that one. It's really good.
There, so this is I put out a little video earlier this week about getting in the middle of playing the first version of this game, the Castlevania game, saying, I've heard that it's not very good and blah blah blah, things like it doesn't have a great reputation. At that point I was enjoying it quite a bit, and I was like, what the hell are people talking about?
About this one.
About 99. Yeah,
Yeah.
about this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that this is like poo-poo, stinky
Trash.
poo-poo garbage. Like
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that game is awful. It's one of the worst N64 games ever."
Yeah.
I was
No, it's not
no,
true.
not even
Spoiler
close.
alert, it is not true. I don't think
Not
that's
even
true
close.
at all. Yeah, no. We've played worse games and already on that.
We've played worse games. I would even venture to say that this, like, I know I'm like, I always try to be positive. I always try to talk about how it's
Yeah, you're
fun.
more positive
I
than me
would,
most of the time.
but I would dare to say that this is actually a good game. Like, this is not
I
just,
agree.
I would say it's past okay. It's actually a good game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was having a lot of fun.
it's not a masterpiece by any means, but that doesn't mean it's a shitty game.
Yeah, it's a solid, like, maybe 7, 7.5 if I just had to,
so
like,
there you go.
blindly throw it
I
out there.
feel like we're kind of on the same page. We'll get into some of the details and stuff like that, right? But
Yeah,
I think
that's an arbitrary score that means nothing.
or does it mean everything?
Or does it mean everything?
Does it mean
Maybe it
everything?
does.
Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe not. Probably yes. Probably yes. It's coming from us.
Good.
It matters. Yeah, for sure. Man, what was I going to say before? I can't remember. Yeah, Symphony of the Night. No. What I was going to say is I've said this before about other games, and I said this a little bit in my video, is that the 3D Mario games, for example, are all pretty good. Whether it's Mario 64, which I think is sort of like towards the top of the list for me as far as 3D Marios go of what I enjoyed. They do awesome things. They're fun. I mean, even, obviously the Galaxy games are awesome, but I think they kind of are their own version of 3D in a way, just because of the way that everything is formatted or whatever. But I always gravitate towards the 2D versions of a lot of these games. So Zelda included, I obviously the two games on 64 are kind of hard to match in my opinion, but I love the top down. I love Minish Cap. I love Link Between Worlds. Like I love those games.
Sure.
Mario is the same thing. I will play Mario World before I play, or even, oh my God, what's the one that they just came out 2 years ago? Wonder?
Yeah, Wonder.
I'll play that over the Galaxy games. Like I like Castlevania is kind of the same, but that doesn't mean that this game is shitty. I was hearing. I kind of like the 2D version of these games, but they're not these games are not bad. By the way, I found the 360 one. It is called, oh, where did I put it? Jiggy, where did I put it? Jiggy.
I don't know.
Jiggy.
I don't know.
Jiggy, where did I put it?
If I was being
smart, here we go.
Go to my Steam,
if you can see my screen, yeah. Lords of the Shadow is one of them. That's
yes.
Yeah, and then there was a sequel.
How many are there?
I think there's 2. Looks like Lords of the Shadow and then Mirror of Fate, I think.
Yeah,
but
I never
don't know
played
if that's
Mirror
just
of Fate.
I don't know if that's just the name of the HD remake one. I don't know if that's.
Oh.
But yeah. Anyways, there's 2 of them. Yeah. And they're like 3D Castlevania.
I actually would say
they look cool.
Pretty similar to this game.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
But 360. So, but
10 years later.
10 years later, but I would actually say that I think the N64 one is better.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah. They had like a Castlevania sale, like I want to say like 2-3 months ago or something like that. I was like, ooh, I've never played these ones. Like it's the HD remake ones. Like that'd be cool. I didn't do it, but maybe next time. Like they're on my Steam wish list kind of thing. Maybe next time I'll go. They were like super cheap, like just like $3 or something. Yeah. But I'm cheap as shit, so I didn't buy them. But anyways, okay. So let's get into it. So we've said sort of overall that we really like it or have like it a decent amount. I'm gonna pull up the there we go. Yay!
Oh yeah, and this is the original 64.
This one's the original.
Yeah,
the sort of, I guess, just Castlevania Legacy of Darkness is. I have some gameplay pulled up of that too, but I
think going forward we should just refer to this one as Castlevania 64, and the other one is Legacy of Darkness.
Yeah,
just for sanity.
Let's do that. Yeah, I think for ours and everybody else's sanity. Yes, let's do that. I'm gonna see. I think this carries into the little intro. I want to play that because it's got some voiceover.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Is that loud? That's really loud for me.
I can't even hear it.
Can't hear it, or you can?
Can't. I cannot hear it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, really.
weird.
What is going on here? He's
Well,
reacting, but we
if
can't
you
hear
can't hear it, then it doesn't matter.
it.
That's fine. Um, okay, so I started this game. Um, Paul was there when I started it. Actually, when I live streamed this for the first time, when I first started playing it, about a week and a half ago. At this point,
Oh
that
my
of the day
gosh.
that we're
I
sitting here,
I was gonna pop in.
you would have.
Listen what happened, okay? I just want to say what happened.
Please.
I was doing something. I think I was playing the new Pokemon,
Oh, okay,
and I
nice.
saw you were streaming, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pop in. I want to see what his like reaction to Castlevania." I was like, "I know we're gonna talk about it," and I went on and I saw your live stream, and then I like hovered over it, and you were playing Mario Tennis, and I'm like, I guess I'll get his thoughts later.
Oh God, the game's that bad. Oh God. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I eventually got to. That's how that happened. Yeah. So basically what happened is part of the journey in the last couple of weeks is what I said before, what we're talking about, how, I didn't realize that these were kind of similar games in some ways.
Sure.
Not in every way, but in some ways. So that was one thing I learned. Second thing I learned, which I messaged you about a couple days ago, was if you play Castlevania 64 in easy mode, which I wanted to do because I was like, I don't want to
You
struggle
want
too
to
much.
fly through it?
I want to get through, I don't want to fly, but
Yeah.
I just want to like get through it, right? I want to finish the game. It's not a
Yeah.
suit. I didn't have a ton of time last couple of weeks. So I'm like, okay, an 8 hour ish game that seems to be about the average on how long to beat, for example, which is I kind of check in on every once in a while. I was like, okay, I can do that, but if I'm not struggling to get through some areas. So let me just play it on easy and whatever. So what happened is you get literally about 2/3 of the way through the game and the game just fucking ends. It says something like a message comes up, like a scroll text comes up and says, you've completed the game on easy. Play on normal if you want to see, or if you want a bigger challenge and to play the rest of the story or something like that. And I'm
That's almost
sitting
like
there
a
going,
demo.
yeah, but it's like a 5 hour demo. I was like, what the
What
fuck?
the heck?
I mean, it definitely took me longer than 5 hours because I was doing lots of sort of trying to figure out what to do. Not in a bad way. It's just trying to figure it out. But that
Yeah,
happened.
that's super weird. That's like you're penalizing people for playing on easy, which
Yeah.
this is one of those games. I'm not saying in like getting into this game and playing it, I wouldn't play it on normal, but this like Castlevania is one of those games where I would consider playing it on a lower difficulty because I know it's hard and sometimes I
Yeah.
just want to play it like it's really story driven, like I want to play it for the story and I don't want to be overwhelmed with really difficult bosses I get stuck on, so this is what I
I
would have considered.
yeah, and going in, we've heard not great things. So I'll go, okay, well, if maybe mechanically is part of the issue, then I don't want to struggle too much with it. Let me get through it. Let's get the story. Like you said, they all have some sort of deep story. I want to experience, I want to get the Dracula or whatever the enemy is in the big boss it is in this. I want to experience all that stuff. And then it's just, I was like, are you fucking joking? And then you can't just like open that file, switch it to normal, for example, which I know is maybe a little bit of a stretch for a game of this time. But the fact that I couldn't do that meant I had to start the game over again
Yeah,
on normal.
I don't like that.
And I was like, I just don't have time. I only have a few days. I want to do this live stream. I want to talk about this game. We got to get this episode out. Like, this is like the life of a fucking parent times two now because I'm like, I don't have time to do this shit. I got other things I want to play. I've been playing Ball X Pit. That game's amazing. I don't have time to play more Castlevania. Um, and so what I did was instead was I started Legacy of Darkness because I was like,
I think
now
that's
that
fair.
around that time, I learned the differences and things and how it wasn't quite the same. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do the rest of my time playing that. And I almost finished Legacy of Darkness. I played it enough that I almost finished it. On top of that, before I got to that sort of halfway on easy mode type thing, that live stream that I was doing, that Paul was there for, Tim popped in too, I believe, to say hi a couple times and stuff. I was at this opening area here that we're watching on the gameplay. And when we get to it, I'll point it out. But the reason why I switched to Mario Tennis, for example, is because, so first of
I,
all,
I think I
for
know what
some
you're about to
reason,
say.
yeah, for some reason my the connection, my I don't know if it was the adapter I have connecting to my computer for my 64 from the EverDrive and stuff. It wasn't working. It wasn't showing up, and I couldn't figure out why. I don't know if it was my
Mhm.
capture card. I don't know if it was a cable or whatever. And this was totally fine the day before. It's one of those like tech things where it's like, hey, I just feel like taking a nap today, so I'm
Stopped
not going to work.
working for no
Yeah.
reason.
So I
Yay.
loaded the game up on RetroArch on Steam, which is normally fine. I've done it a bunch of times before. It's how I play anything. If I play it on the Steam Deck, no problem. The game was running fine. It looked fine, all that stuff. But I realized as I was playing it in these first, let's say, 15 minutes or something, oh, Reinhardt here, dude runs kind of slow. Maybe that's why this game sucks, is because this guy's like super slow. It was not reading the input properly from my controller. So when I
Uh,
press forward on the joystick, and I'm using an actual N64, I had 3 controllers I tried out on stream. I connected a bunch because I have a USB adapter for the N64 controllers too. So I just kept swapping them, and nothing was making me run faster. And I didn't realize that was the issue because I've never played the game before. So I didn't know that that's what the problem was. So the problem is there's a part in this area here that we're watching where you have to make a couple of jumps. And if you don't, you fall into water, which kills you automatically. And I
yeah,
could not make the jump because I wasn't running. Dude was just
yeah.
strolling around, he was just walking. So I was like, I can't, I think there's an issue here. I think there's a problem. So I stopped playing it and was like, I got to pick this up at a different time. Let's play something easy that's going to make me feel not so shitty. I'm going to play Mario Tennis.
That's fair. I didn't know the angle you were going to get to it, but I knew that what you were going to say involved the platforming on the water,
Mm-hmm.
because this is one of those games, like, to save, you have to find these little white jewels on the ground, and then you interact with them and you save.
Because, just because.
And they're placed pretty generously, like, I wouldn't even say
Yeah,
generously, I would say strategically, like, well. Like, they're
they're
in
usually
the
not
spot.
too far from a boss. They're usually not too far from a place it's going to have some sort of extra
Hazard or
platforming or
something.
something
Yeah.
hazard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So they're not too bad. Yeah, they're actually more frequent than I probably would have expected, honestly.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they knew that there was gonna be some problems with the platforming. Problems is kind of a stretch. But the thing is, especially in this part, because it's really the only part for a while that I experienced where I struggled with platforming.
right.
It's like you have to scale the side of the cliff, and there's like
Yeah,
little like brick things that like protrude
like
out.
platforms that are just sort of arbitrarily different shapes and in different
Yeah, right here, these little
configurations. It's
gray
this exact
blocks
spot.
and
This is the
everything.
spot that fucked me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It got me too, especially you have to do the switch and it forces you to like lower these
yeah,
rocks here, and then you
yep,
have to like climb down and then climb up the other side.
yeah,
It's just not it, it's not that it doesn't work, but you see how this person is very trepidatious about it. That's
yes.
that's that's how you have to be, because it's like scary, because like
Y-
the subtlest movement will send you flying.
Yeah, because he runs once the run kept going. Once the run's figured out in other platforming areas, you do realize that you do have to be careful and stuff. This is just the
Yep.
first instance of it in areas like this because there's a few of these that are these random platform shapes and stuff like that in other parts of the game that are actually not too far from this. Like maybe like an hour or two later.
Yeah.
You know what I did when I needed to go down was I held on to the Z and just and did like the sort of kneel like the crouch and just
Oh.
inched forward and he'll still fall. It's just instead of like it's you could sort of walk with the joystick and just sort of push it a little bit forward and he'll actually
Sure.
go slower, which is how I was like quote unquote running the first time, which is what annoyed me and why I couldn't make the jump. But if you just hold on to the crouch button, then you don't have to worry about accidentally pushing it too far and then throwing you off
Ah.
the edge. So that's what I ended up doing.
See,
Yeah.
I come from the obviously the platformer mindset of I'm gonna go as fast as possible, and
So do
so I'm like
I.
running, and I would just constantly be jumping,
Yeah.
and like going down the platforms. I'm like, oh, I'll do this, and I would jump up to grab the ledge, and I would miss the ledge, and I would just go flying, and then I
Yeah.
would like shoot out into the water. I
Yeah.
actually had a point where I kept failing on the same jump, and I was like, I gotta take a break from this game because I was getting really
Yeah.
mad. Um, It's just
I
I
was
don't know. It's one of those things.
it's hit and miss. It's not bad. I just think that it's similar with Shadow Man actually, which is the last episode and last game that we covered, which isn't really a platforming game but has platforming elements.
I need to say something right now.
Yeah.
I just watched it on the screen.
Oh
I did
yeah, that
not
little
know there was
area.
an invisible platform to that
Yes.
torch because
Yes.
I didn't
Tried to
even
jump.
try to do it. I looked at it and I was like, I'm not risking it. I'm not going to jump.
You know what I
I
did
just
is
ignored
I
it.
tried. There's this area, if people aren't seen it, there's an area where there's like this
That's
platform that's
funny.
definitely too far to jump to, right? And once I got the run going, and once I picked the game back up the next day or 2 days later, I was like, oh, this guy's a bullet now. He's I can make that jump. So what I did was I went too far, but then I was just standing with nothing under me, and I was like, oh, it's invisible. It's Indiana Jones. Yes. And I just
Dang
it's
it.
like it's just like a I don't even know what the special does. I don't even know what that does, but yeah.
I didn't even try. I was like, I'm
But
not
that's the
risking it. I
smart
want to
way.
progress.
Based on what I went through the day before, I shouldn't have tried it, and yet you took the responsible approach. That's the difference here.
Mm,
That's the difference. Um, yeah, Paul
man.
says he was there and I saw quote unquote the jump happen. So there you go. We're gonna refer to it now as the jump because I swear to God, I was streaming for about 2 hours and I think I tried that jump for like 45 minutes. I was
Oh man.
I was looking stuff up. Paul was looking stuff up. He was sending me links of like, oh, maybe this is how you do it, and we could not figure out what the fuck was wrong. And it was just the way that the controller was being picked up either by the ROM or by RetroArch or by the adapter I had, whatever it was.
Something was
Um,
just not working.
some was just not working. Anyways, spending way too much time in this area and this my problem that eventually was not a problem. But that was my experience going into this. So I got worried because I was like, I don't know, man, maybe this sucks. Maybe this does suck.
Mm,
Maybe people were right. And then I kept playing and I went a little further and I kind of met the game like you have to do with some of these games that go from very heavy 2D games and influence and history and all that. You kind of have to meet it a little bit halfway. Um, it's not perfect, but I don't think that there's a whole lot of glaring issues that I see that I go, oh, this is just horrible. I can't believe they did this to
yeah.
Castlevania and whatever. I still had a good time. I still think that like some of the combat is like hit and miss, but I do think that the game overall and all the areas you go in are different and you're doing some backtracking, but not too much. Largely, I just think that it was still fun and interesting and the, just good enough to say like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna keep going with this. This is not something I'm gonna
Yeah.
toss the controller at because there's too many frustrating elements. It's so with its like um sort of quote unquote pixel perfect movements if you need to do certain jumps or hit certain enemies and stuff. It's not always great, but it's not terrible either. And I don't think this is something that people should avoid because they've heard bad things. I think it's worth a good shot. And I also figured out as I played both of these really is that it has a pretty good difficulty curve as you go. Things get a little bit more complex and there's a little bit more going on and things you have to sort of think about where you need to go and what you do next. There's a couple annoying parts about halfway through that I'll get to, but other than that, I had a pretty good time. I had a pretty good time. So
Yeah, I do think that like the issues I was having with platforming were solved by me just like taking a step back and being a little bit more patient.
yeah,
So I don't really fault. I mean, it's an N64 early 3D action adventure with some platforming elements. It's got a ledge grab, which is more than I can say for some games. So,
yes, that
and
is very true. Yeah,
for the most part, the
and it's
ledge
pretty
detection
generous
works
too. I
well.
think the ledge grab is pretty generous. Like
Yeah, it works. And once you kind of figure out how it works, because you do have to hold the A button, and then I think you pull forward with the
you have to hold
joystick or
forward.
something.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like once you get a feel for that, then you're like, okay. And I started to trust it more because at first I'm like, oh, I'm not
yeah,
trusting that.
yeah. Me too.
But you kind of need to.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things you just got to get used to it and just slow down a little bit because I was just going way too fast. And once I slowed down, it was like, okay, I can get through this. You just got to
Yeah.
take your time. It's just a
Yeah.
little
So
treacherous.
yeah, at times it can be a little bit like they do a little too much with it, but I think there's not a ton of platforming to be like, oh my god, this is they're just forcing it or whatever. It's just every once in a while they toss those in, and that's it. And like we said, the sort of save points and respawn points essentially is what that is. And
Yeah.
you sort of reload and stuff pretty quickly. It's not a huge annoyance and all that. Those things are all there and don't feel like they're just trying to cheat you and stuff, which some of these games could do around this time. So I'm also someone who, I meant to say this before, I'm also someone who wants to run all the time. Like I mentioned Super Mario World before. Like if I'm not running constantly playing that game, I'm not playing that game right. Like I
Right.
have to be running all the time, and I will course correct. I will scoop Mario back. I will go back. But it's like there's no way I'm not going full tilt when I play those games. I don't know what it is, but I had that tendency in this too, and then I had to sort of pull it back a little bit when some of the platforming stuff got to me unexpectedly and stuff. So yeah, that's what Castlevania is not necessarily a platformer or a combat game or whatever, but talk a little bit about the platforming elements of it. But the combat stuff, what did you think about the whip, the sword, the different I guess you could call them abilities, but the different weapons you can pick up, like the projectiles essentially.
Yeah. What I thought was interesting is unless I'm an idiot, which is totally possible, I don't think
Don't compare notes on that with the two of
there's
us. Don't.
right. I
Oh,
don't think
thanks.
there's
Yeah,
really a
thanks. Just
tutorial like
no,
per
there's
se.
nothing. There's nothing.
There's no
Not
like this button uses this button does this, and you kind of have to
nope.
figure it out. And I don't I don't know why right C button is like pick up item button. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me, but for some
It's like
reason
the
I figured it
action
out
button,
and it actually
essentially.
feels okay. Like it I don't know, it's a little bizarre and like the left C button is your sword attack, the
Yes.
B button's your whip,
Yeah.
and then A is jump, and then
Yeah.
up does like your camera and the
Camera.
R button. The camera system actually
Oh yeah, that's
kind
interesting.
of
That's actually something to sort of point out. Yeah.
yeah, the camera system, so you basically have your normal cam, normal view, which is like whatever. It's just
I
behind you
I
basically.
think it's behind you, but also like it adjusts for you. Like
Yeah,
it's
sort
not
of.
always behind you. Sometimes it's sort of the Resident Evil type approach where like sometimes it's beside you when you go around a corner or whatever. It's not 100% predictable, but it's not bad either. I didn't find I had an issue with it.
Yeah, it's I would say it's not the best camera, but it works. It does the job.
Yeah.
And
Did you have a
the
preference of which one? Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Explain them actually. That's better, probably better.
well, I was just gonna say, and then there's the battle mode or whatever of the
Battle and
camera where it's sort
action.
of
Those are the three.
yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't know the difference between the action and battle other than seeing the thing. Like action just kind of focuses on everything, whereas battle kind of focuses on one enemy. Is that kind of the difference?
Battle focuses like sort of focuses on whatever the nearest enemy is. You know how sometimes a little like reticle kind of shows up
Yeah,
over the enemy.
yeah,
It'll focus on that and sort of have the camera behind you and just sort of follow it, which
yeah,
is kind of what the boss angle
yeah.
does
It's
for
like the
you, but
same
it's
thing with
for
the
like the
boss.
smaller enemies. And then action tries to keep it behind you at all times. That's what it does.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different like methods they're handling with the camera controls, and because the
Yeah.
C buttons are like your different action buttons. So the I'm trying to think. Down is actually your like
Those
inventory like gadgets.
Yeah, those are like the axe and the cross. So those are like the projectile weapons that you can
Yep.
find in a bunch of different ways. Yeah.
Yep, and you do like they're very helpful. I use them all the
I
time.
Oh my god. I use them so much, but I gravitated towards the reason why I ask is because I 100% gravitated towards one particular one and I probably used it 90% of the time I was playing the game. And when I didn't have it, I was
Really?
annoyed. Yeah. So I used the
Mm.
cross like
Okay.
90% of the time. So that's just sort of like it almost looks like a little what do they call it? Like the ninja
It's an
stars, like shurikens or whatever. That's what it sort of looks like.
sure.
That's what I thought it was, just the way he throws it and stuff. But essentially, as long as you throw it in any direction close to an enemy, it will lock onto them, bounce off them, and hit another enemy if it needs to, if it
Yeah,
can
they were
find
pretty
it.
nice.
So in some areas, which was one of my annoyances of it, in some areas, one of my annoyances of the game, especially the early parts of it, the first couple areas, the skeletons and the spiders, they just spawn too much. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can run by them, I think, like some of them, but if you get overwhelmed with enemies, if I just throw that and run away, in the background all I hear is and it's just like hitting like four guys, and then they drop items and they drop like collect, and I was just like, okay, great. I don't, and then they're like off camera. I'm just throwing it behind me, and they're like off camera, and I'm killing guys. And I was like, this is great. This is like perfect. And then boss
Yeah,
battles
that's
when they
pretty cool.
spawn. So that's why I used it a lot, is because of that. I didn't really the axe was okay because I could hit guys from pretty far away. I never really got a handle of the holy water all
See,
that
that's
much.
the
Like,
one I used.
so I
That's the
like
one
what
I
it
used the
did. So
most.
yeah. So why did you like that one? I told you why I like the cross. Why did you like the holy water one?
I just like the idea of throwing it down, and it's almost like a trap where I would lead enemies into it.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
I don't know, I just felt like I could use that effectively, like, consistently over and over, because I couldn't always count on the lock on to, like, target the enemies the way I wanted them to,
That's right.
but I could
Yeah, me
always,
too.
like, definitively, like, leave a spot. "Oh, there's the spot," and run over to it.
Right,
It
right.
was
That's
something I
fair.
could consistently use to fight, and I think, like, all the items, though, are useful. Like, I think if you pick them up, you're not gonna be really, like, sad that you have one. You might have a preference, but they all are effective, at least in some way. And
Yeah,
you're covered, at least as Reinhardt. You have the whip, so you have sort of your mid range, and it's always there for you. You have your sword, which is close range, which not ideal, and then all of these other weapons are basically like long range,
yeah, yeah. I
mid
don't.
to
Did
long
you
range,
just
I
play as
guess.
him, or did you play as I don't recall the name of her now.
I did not play as the girl. I only played as Reinhardt on this version.
Yeah, me too.
And I
Yeah,
did go back and play Legacy of Darkness, and I played the first guy. What's his name? Like, I want to say Corin. It's not Corin. It's like something with a C. The Wolfman, the Beast
yeah,
Man.
Wolfman. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Colin, maybe. I
I
can't
should have
remember
it.
his
I
name.
should have it in front of me. Hold on. I'll find it. I'll find it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
find
look
it.
at all those tabs.
I know.
But
I got all these
I
tabs over here.
I thought the combat was pretty solid. I think it works really well, which is actually really good because it's 80% of this game.
Yeah,
And I
there's a
think
decent amount of it. That's true. There's quite a bit.
yeah, I
Um,
really think that the combat was like solid enough. The My only complaint is that
Cornell, by the way, Cornell.
Cornell, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My only
Anyways, go
complaint
ahead.
about the combat is that enemies, like, which I guess is sort of just a Castlevania thing, they spawn a lot and really frequently.
It
And I just felt like, okay, I want to clear this area and explore, and it just you never get to that point. There's always
You can never clear something unless it's a
you can
boss
never
battle.
clear something.
You can't. Like, like even when it's like sort of goofy and funny, where it's like, oh my god, there's skeletons on motorcycles for some reason. I like, can you
Yeah.
stop? Like, I don't want to do this again.
I just want, like, the collectathon platformer guy in me just wants to, like, explore and, like, collect everything, but I feel
So
like they were getting in the way. Like,
yeah, so
stop ruining my fun.
the one thing, like the early thing, I in a way I kind of forgave it in that for sort of opening area, because I was like, okay, it's early in the game. I'm getting a handle of the controls and different weapons yeah, I'll get over it. I'm sure I'll get past this part. And you do, for a little bit.
Mhm.
But the castle center, I think it's called, where you have to backtrack a decent amount. I'm not sure if you got to this
Yeah.
point. This was the last area that you could play in the easy mode, which is why it's annoying, because before you go up the castle towards the last two areas, that's where the game ends. And I'm just like, are you fucking joking? Anyways,
Is that the one with a lot of, like, riding the platform?
no,
Like,
it's after that. It's after that. So
it's right after that? Okay.
yeah. So when after we have to fight the giant bull eventually. I don't know if you got to that point.
Mm,
Um,
mm-mm.
so you have to. So what's annoying about it is like the mechanic of this area is not great, because you have to pick up this. You have to go to this spot and pick up like essentially what is like a bomb, I would say, but it's in like a jar, right? But once you pick it up,
Bomb
you
in a
can't.
jar. Classic.
classic bomb and jar, as you do with jars, you put bombs in them.
Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly. Honestly, that's what I thought of. It's like it's very, very similar. Um, the You have to pick it up. So what happens is you get to the area where you pick it up. You find you run into, oh man, what was her name? The girl that you run into, the kid that you follow through the maze and stuff.
Oh,
Morel or something like
the
that.
blue haired whatever,
Yeah, the kid who's like
blue
yeah.
haired
Anyways,
chick. Yeah, whatever her
yeah,
name
it's
is. Blue haired
you,
girl.
you run
Number
into
3.
her, and then she's like possessed or something, or Dracula's talking through her. There's a whole like story element to it, and I was like, "Ooh, this is getting interesting." Okay, that's cool. But you have to pick up this jar, and you go through all these like this traversal stuff to get to this spot. You pick it up, and you have to backtrack. This is part of the backtracking area of this game, without jumping or without getting hit by anything on the
Oh,
way back to
fantastic.
an area, and then you have to drop it by like an area that has like a cracked wall, and then you have to like blow it up essentially, right? And it is not easy, and it's kind of annoying because this is where the sort of respawning of the enemies comes in, is that I thought I could clear an area, and some of these areas are the skeletons on fucking motorcycles, by the way. Which when you kill the skeleton, the motorcycle also keeps running and could also hit you.
Yeah.
So I would go through, and from A to B, from picking up this jar to dropping it where I need to, is like a 15-minute thing, and I'm not even exaggerating here.
Oh
Like
no.
10 minutes if I'm generous, right? And I swear to God, this is part of the annoyance of why when the game ended, I was so pissed. I did this 7 or 8 times, and I had the path sort of mapped out exactly how I wanted to do it. The speed, we're talking about the platforming and stuff. There's no jumping, so it's platforming, but just sort of worrying about your momentum and the way he runs and the way he walks
Yeah.
and whatever, and going across platforms that, of course, if you fall off, you die because that's
Hmm.
considered a jump and blah. This was the most annoying part of this entire game. I get what they're going for, but from A to B was just way too long. You have to open a bunch of doors. You go into different areas. You could defeat enemies, but if you just
What's the point?
like you could walk by them. So the most efficient way to do it is to just run by them. But I swear to God, I came so close to the fucking door I had to get to at least 7 or 8 times that I was like, oh my God, thank God I did this. I beat the boss. I get to the next area, did all the things I needed to do. And then the game's like, you beat easy mode. I was like, are you
Oh
fucking kidding
no.
me? I was so rattled, man. I was so rattled.
Oh, and it's crazy that you're saying this. You're like, it was difficult and you were on easy mode. So like,
Yeah, well, so then I looked up what easy mode does. It gives you unlimited gold, so you can spend as much money as you want. And
okay.
I I think there's a couple of less enemies where the bosses have like less health or something. But then I looked at some videos and like even like hard mode. I'm like, this looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
The only thing I noticed early on some of the videos I looked up when I went back to see like, oh, what's the difference? The opening area, like when you face, which by the way, in the stream, me and Paul were both saying when I was playing it that it looked like Donkey Kong the way he was running because he's like on all fours
Heck
essentially.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's Donkey Kong's skeleton. That area, instead of the skeletons popping up and walking towards you, they're on the
Mhm.
motorcycles. It's like little things like that
Right.
they changed. Um, so I don't know why I got to that
Amen.
story. I lost my train of thought of where I got to, but anyways, that's part of why the enemy stuff can be annoying because that's where I
Mm,
noticed it the most. And when I got a little bit further in Legacy of Darkness, it's not exactly the same, but elements of that are still there, and I'm just like, fuck, like
yeah.
I'm enjoying this. I like this. Why is this
Legacy of
thrown in here? So
right. Legacy of
I don't know.
Darkness is an
Yes. So
interesting
we should talk about
variance.
the differences of this. So like you said, Cornell is a different character. Henry is another character. You can play them off the front. Essentially what this is from what I understand, it seems like this is what they quote unquote wanted to make in the first place. But what they did was to kind of change it is that this is the same area that you're in Castlevania 64, if that's what we're going to call it, but it's 8 years prior, and you can play as two different characters
Right.
going into the same thing. So in the story of the original version of the game, that girl that we just lost her name for, she's talking about how Dracula came in and wiped out the village, and they were looking for a kid to kidnap, and like things like that's part of what the story is. This is around the time that happened, as far as I understand. So you're going back to the moments, essentially moments after that happened, and going into Dracula's castle to kind of stop him and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's super interesting. In a way, that's almost like a prequel game. So I get why they
Yeah,
might want to do that. And I was like, that's cool. I think
yeah.
that's pretty clever. They didn't just reskin a bunch of stuff and give you a new character with different abilities. Like it does, they did actually do something different with it. So I can understand why this is like seen as maybe a different game, but also because you're going to the same areas, even if they are redesigned, it is kind of the same game in some ways too. So I don't know.
It's interesting because Cornell, I keep wanting to say Colin, and the reason I keep wanting to say Colin is because I watch What We Do in the Shadows, and I think of
Yes.
Colin the energy vampire.
Yes.
Anyways, Cornell, he essentially, sort of spoilers, so I'm just laying that out here right now. He becomes the sacrifice that like resurrects Dracula at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Um, and it's very interesting how this is like you do sort of retread the same areas with him, but also in Legacy of Darkness, they also do like a totally new intro, even for Reinhardt.
All of
Like you
them.
do
All
the
of them start in a different area. They
yeah.
come off a boat and stuff. You're outside the castle and like the outskirts of like
I
the castle area and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know about you. I actually didn't like it. Um,
Um
I didn't
I
like
think
that change.
I
I
think
liked getting right
what
into
I
the action.
yeah, I think what I liked about it is more so the setup than the actual this is how the game starts. You know, like I like the idea, like I
Yeah.
just mentioned. I like that whole like, oh, cool, they're doing like a prequel in the same engine, the same game, like things like that. Like it the opening area is fine because it's cool that it's different. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't think that much of it, honestly.
I thought the boat was really like I do like the intro cutscene. I think what really
Yeah.
got me is it starts Reinhardt there too. I almost wish it was
Yeah.
just exclusively Cornell's start and it starts Reinhardt where it did in the base game.
It would make
Um
more sense. Yeah.
it would make more sense to me. It just felt a little like shoehorned in there.
Yeah.
And I actually was going through and playing and I found myself actually preferring the gameplay of Castlevania 64. For me, it
Okay.
felt better. Um,
What about it felt different? Because to me,
the
I didn't. I
camera
mean, yeah, the camera is different. That's true.
the
Yeah.
camera is a little different, and I actually think it works better in the base game. I know
Okay.
they made some improvements, quote unquote,
Or so they say.
but
Yeah.
I found that the base camera worked better for me.
Right.
And the one in Legacy of Darkness seemed like it just moved around quite a bit, like it was like kind of bouncing around like to enemy really fast, and I didn't necessarily want it to do that. I just kind of wanted it to lock in, and I could account for
Right.
where an enemy was. Like I would turn and whip in a corner even if it wasn't in my vision because I knew there was an enemy over there, and more often than not I would get it. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, visually, I did notice, I think the although you can play this in a high resolution mode, air
Yes.
quotes, with the expansion pack, and it does sort of take away some of those jaggies that you see, those the aliasing and like the
Yeah.
hair specifically on Reinhardt is where I noticed it.
Yeah.
But it it induces more frame rate dips, and
So
you'll be playing and
yeah,
all of a sudden it'll dip like pretty horrendously. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely like, why would you play it this way?
it's not worth switching to that
It's not
version.
worth the 10 extra P you get,
It,
you know?
like and no one likes only 10 Ps. So, you know,
Yeah.
like
But you can play it on the lower resolution mode. But I
it's
also
fine.
found that the remake, they changed some of the lighting and stuff.
That's
And
part of the things that they did, yeah.
I actually again prefer the look of the base game.
Oh, I like the lighting
No, I
in Legacy.
didn't. There was one
Okay.
part in particular where you walk in and in the base game you're lit by torches and you're like kind of like purplely red, like it looks
Yeah,
really like
there's a lighting
crazy
effect on
looking.
it and stuff. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then in
yeah.
Legacy of Darkness it just looks more real. And I just,
Yeah.
I like the sort of like
You like a pinkish hue?
it's the over exaggeration of the effect, right?
That's
And
fair.
that's what I
Oh,
like.
yeah.
But also the colors. The colors in general in the base game are better. Like they're a little more muted. And I would
They're
say
I was just
like
gonna say muted is exactly what I was gonna
yeah.
say. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're a
are.
little more muted in Legacy of Darkness, like a
It's not
little
as
more
it's not as bright.
real.
It's not as bright, I think.
Yeah, I like the
Um,
bright and colorful. Like it's already a dark game, so it's not like I'm talking like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to Banjo Kazooie or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It just the color just pops a little more, you know, it's just
Yep.
a little nicer, a little more. I don't know. The Rose Room, that's a great example. Go look at the Rose Room, look at the Legacy of Darkness version, and look at the
I'm gonna
base
do that.
Castlevania 64
Let's
version. And
let's
if you
do that. I'll
compare the
find it.
two, like you'll find that the Legacy of Darkness version, the roses are a lot more muted, where in the 64 version the red like really pops. And
Can't find it.
personally, I just there was a lot I liked about the base game, including the menu being far superior.
Oh
And
yeah?
only like the
Okay.
menu intro, I mean. So I love the
Oh,
whole like
yeah.
going into the castle, the bats are flying. It's what we played at the intro, and then you have the one playing the violin.
The violin, yeah.
And in the Legacy of Darkness, it's like a girl running, and she's like,
Yes.
oh, like she's being hunted down. Like I guess it's like your wolf form or something. I'm trying to follow it.
It's much more unexpected and honestly welcomed that there's just like this character playing the violin. Whether you know,
It's a vibe.
it's great. I love
But you
and
know,
the song is awesome, by the way.
the
The song
song
is
is
great.
awesome.
It's so
But you know
good.
what else they do? The like text and everything is way more stylized, where I feel like it's way more
Yeah.
basic in Legacy of Darkness. It's
Yeah.
like we're talking like they had some like custom horror looking text and they replaced it with Comic Sans, like for legibility. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like someone got onto him about being accessible or something. It's like, come on.
But they
And
definitely
like
did
the
not because this game's not
yeah,
accessible, but
and even the menus and stuff, like you have some cool like magnifying glass coming over with like a blue highlight and stuff, and
and
I
then
don't
there's
they
like scribbles underneath things and whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it
Yeah, yeah.
the first one is like a vibe and has a lot of style, like for better or worse, and the second one was like they definitely it's almost like they got feedback and they just instead of taking the time to make what they had work, they're like, we're just gonna simplify it and make it like super easy to read. And I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I
I
could
don't
see that.
know. I just
Ah.
there's just little changes. There's little changes I just didn't like and I didn't appreciate. I was like, "Ah, why did they do that?" And then but there's also like way more game here, so it's like choose your
I
poison.
know.
I almost feel like you need to get both to have like the best experience.
Well, the thing
That's
is
how they
with
get us.
I know. That's how they're suckers. Suckers.
Tangent over.
No, no, it's not a tangent. It's great. The thing is with Legacy of Darkness is that yes, it does have two characters that are more that you can now play as that you couldn't before. But if you go and you play, if you've, I don't know if it's worth getting one over the other if you're just strictly talking about gameplay, because you'll get something out of and enjoy, I think, both. But if you're like, oh my, if you're like a Castlevania diehard and you're like, I want to see Reinhardt's version of this, I want to see his perspective, I want to see, and that's the thing, all these characters have a different perspective and they all have different interactions with characters. Like the thing is with
Right.
both of these games is that maybe you're going to play the same areas, but you're not going to get the exact same dialogue, the exact same scenario that works out, like, because everyone has their own perspective on what's going on. So like Reinhardt, you can play in version A or version B. One, the levels are different, so you are going to play technically the same game. Most of the bosses are the same, but some of them have changed a little bit, but the areas are laid out a little bit differently. The opening area is definitely a lot different. It's not as flat and open. There's more sort of levels that you have to jump around and stuff like that, but like I think if you want a bigger game and you want to play this game multiple times, I guess the Legacy of Darkness is the way to go. But I didn't find I was missing anything. Like when I went and I played that after the fact, when I played it second,
Right.
I didn't feel like I was gaining anything other than I'm playing as a different character and I opened up in a different way. The way that the levels are changed doesn't feel like enough for me. Like just because some of the layouts were a little bit different, I didn't feel like I was getting more out of it. If I was playing a completely different game, that's fine. But I, I would probably just go to the original version as well. Honestly, like I think that's the way you're leaning to.
Yeah, for sure.
There's enough of a game there. You can play as two different characters. Yes, you're playing the exact same game with just a different type of gameplay, but you're smashing torches, you're picking up items, you're grabbing your projectile weapons, you're fighting vampires, and you're collecting jewels and all those things. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, like which one of these two you're playing. That part of it is all the same. That part of it is just classic Castlevania, right? So, um,
Yeah,
I
it's
enjoyed
hard.
both. I enjoyed both, but I don't know. I don't know what. I guess I would technically recommend Legacy of Darkness because there's more game there, but I don't know that it's necessarily better.
I I I think I think the changes to the game don't make it better. In fact, I think some
Okay.
of the changes sort of make it worse. I will say generally it feels maybe slightly faster, like they sped up the characters or
Yes.
something,
Yes. Yeah, I
climbing
think
and
so.
stuff.
Yeah, and the menus are a little bit faster too. Like when you pull up a thing that says like, "Oh, do you want to open this door, or do you want to, flip this switch or whatever?" It little tiny little things like that are a little bit faster
Yeah.
or whatever. I
I
noticed.
mean,
Yeah,
it's similar enough. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get a very similar experience. So it's like whatever.
yeah,
Like, but
yeah.
I also it's a 1.5D remake sort of a thing. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
sequel. It's not quite even a prequel. It's just like they added more content. It's more than like Mario 64 1.1 where they added rumble support, right? It's more than
Yeah,
that. They
yeah, yeah.
added more, but it's still not enough to be like a full-fledged. It'd be almost like if you had like a free day one update or something. Like that's sort of what it feels like.
It's
And
it's a patch a week later or something like that. Like it's
you
something
gotta
like
cut
or
out
a
a little bit.
DLC where you're like, oh, I played as a different character, like that
Uh, uh,
that
uh,
type of
uh,
stuff. Yeah. Oh, am I stuttering? Uh
yeah, you're stuttering. It just like wigged out,
oh. It's almost
but I'm sure
like
you had
a
a great point.
I had a it's all my points are great, obviously. It's like a DLC. That's what it feels like in some ways.
Yeah,
For a game like this. Um, the thing I want to sort of touch on too is talk about the weapons. We sort of talk about how the enemies are, but it's I want to kind of maybe it's unfair to sort of compare it, but because we're sort of sitting in the whole like spooky season type thing or whatever, I don't think this is like. I mean, it's very classic Castlevania. Where like it's dark, but it's like, oh, it's a castle and it's Dracula, and okay,
hmm
that's kind of it. But like, I don't know if you want to compare this to like, do you want to play like a really dark game? Do you want to play something that's kind of fucked up? Like, do you still go to Shadow Man? I think over this.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
This is not nearly as scary. Shadow Man is like messed up. Like you
it's
play
got
that game,
elements.
it might actually mess you up. Like
Yeah,
it's
if you really
weird.
pay attention to what's going on, you're just like, holy shit, this is fucked.
Yeah, this is just kind of like this is almost like that Tim Burton Halloween. Like just kind of.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that it's silly. It's just it's like
It's
the stereotypical
campy,
like
a little
Halloween
bit
like
campy.
campy. Yes, it's
Yeah,
like the campy Halloween. Like
yeah,
it's more serious than Count Chocula, but like anybody can sort of handle it.
yeah. That's Count Chocula.
It's-
Classic Count Chocula 64.
yeah, yeah, that's it. We
That
got to
one.
defeat Count Chocula. That's the name of the game.
That's the way to go. Yeah, because it's kind of like it's kind of corny, but that's the writing, that's what they
Yeah,
were sort of doing. But there's little elements of this. It's the sort of there's some voiceover every once in a while. There's decent amount of story, which I don't always pay attention to in Castlevania games. I'm just like, okay, I just got to get to the next area and defeat the next
yeah,
bad guy and get the Dracula and whatever. And like, I'm just not a diehard Castlevania person, but it doesn't mean I dislike the story. This one, for some reason, I don't know if it's because I was trying to take more notes as I was playing or whatever, but like I was paying attention to the story and I was really like, oh yeah, Death shows up and you have the lady that's tossing the roses at you. I think her name is Rose. Like cool elements of it. I thought it was pretty good. I think it's got, oh, there she is. She comes back and she sacrifices herself.
yeah,
Ah,
perfect.
yeah. She's
Just
a
what I needed.
vampire, but doesn't want to be.
There's a lot of like interesting sort of side characters too.
Yeah, there's lots.
One of
There's
the
lots.
one of the side characters I find that was pretty interesting was I think is I'm blanking on the names because all the names are super weird.
Yeah.
But oh, her name is Rosa, but you were really
Oh,
close.
Rosa. Mm.
Was it what was his name? The guy that's like the shop guy. Uh,
Oh, something with an
something with an
R.
R, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Renan
Yeah,
Renner.
dude just
I don't
shows up
know.
and he's like, "Hey, I'm here to sell you stuff." Like, what? What's going on here?
No, no, no. Here's the thing. He shows up. You find like a contract on the ground, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, a
It's no, no.
contract.
It's
I
not. You
can't
don't
read
find a
this."
contract. You find the thing called the contract.
The contract. You
The
find the
contract.
contract on the ground and you look at it, and then he pops up and he's like, "Hey, I'm a demon." And
Yeah.
your guy's like, "What?" And like you're ready to like slug him or something. He's like, "No, no, no. But I'm good. Trust me." And then you can buy your coveted roast beef from him. I'm like, "Dude, I am not buying roast beef from a demon. Like, what is going on here?"
Yeah, but
I
he's got
don't
a
care if
suit
he looks
on.
like a suave businessman.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Keep
He's
your
here
roast
to
beef.
business.
Yeah, he's here to do business. He's doing business.
It's so
He's like, hey,
random.
even hard times are hard in hell. You might even need some gold or something. Like he says, he makes some comment like that, like I need gold even in hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Times are
Oh, yeah.
tough.
Even in gold times are tough, or even in hell times are tough. Everyone needs gold or something. Yeah, that's right. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
I actually think that that's a really bad implementation of easy mode too. Just because I wanted to make a comment on that, like
Yeah.
giving you infinite gold, like that's a collectible. That's something that you have to like find and acquire. Like I don't like that.
No,
I think easy mode
it's
should just be like less enemies and
yeah.
like
So
they
the
don't do as
problem
much
with it
damage.
was, so what I tried to do when I was playing, I was like, oh, now I realize that I have unlimited gold. It's kind of cheesy because then like you can get poisoned or you can get vampiric, whatever they call it, and you have to sort of take certain things in order to get that off of you,
Hmm.
so it doesn't chip away at your health and all that. On top of course, ground roast beef and chicken.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Always need it.
my beef, my actual beef, like literal beef, or almost literal beef with this game, is that the chicken gives you less health than beef, and I think that's bullshit. I like chicken better. So there you go.
I think it's just pure size of the meat, right? It's all
Yeah,
about the
that's true. It's a
size.
bigger piece. It's a bigger
Because
piece.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, that chicken is just like a little drumstick, but that roast beef, man, that's like a whole
it's
screen's worth.
it's got the bone coming out of both sides and stuff. It's like
It's
the whole
bigger than his head.
yeah.
Like, dang.
And then when you take it, he's like, I don't know if you
Oh,
noticed that.
yes.
Oh,
80% health back no matter what.
yeah.
That's a
Um,
heck of a beef.
Oh, also too, talking about items, there's a little bit of like a day night cycle
Oh yeah.
mechanic going, which only comes into play a few times. It's mostly to like open doors that need to be only open
Yeah,
at
I
night
was
or
gonna
only open at
say I like the idea of it. I like how it can change outside and how that looks.
yeah. Yeah.
I like that it made certain events happen. Like to see Rosa, you have to have it like a certain time of day.
Yeah.
Like I like that kind of stuff and like figuring it out. I don't like the door thing. The like to open this door, it has to be night. That seems really stupid and just like halts your progress for no reason.
You have to go into your inventory just because,
Yeah.
like that's kind of what it is. I thought, I don't know if this is the case. Maybe this happens in the hard mode. I should have looked this up, or in legacy maybe this is something, but I thought maybe like there'd be more enemies at night. That kind of in a way
Yeah.
makes sense. And if you don't have enough of the daytime cards to switch it over, then you're like, okay, I have to survive the night because there's going to be more enemies, like something like that.
Yeah, like
um
Zelda, like Ocarina of Time, going out in a Hyrule field, and all of a sudden, all the
very
Skeletalas,
exactly.
whatever they are, they
Yeah.
all come out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, this game's a couple years later, like maybe that's something. And I don't know, maybe it happens in such a small level when you're playing on normal or easy, that like, or not at all, that I didn't notice it or something. But I feel like that's kind of like the default. That's where my head went of what it's going to do, but I didn't notice any differences other than the doors. And then the Rosa thing, it just happened to be the right time of day, so I actually didn't even notice that until I was reading something about it. So
Yeah, when you talk to
like,
um the old dude that you meet like right at the beginning of
yeah,
the
yeah,
mansion or whatever, he's
yeah.
just like, "Oh, there's a woman that takes care of the flowers, but she only comes out at dawn or something." Like,
Oh, okay, okay.
okay, weird thing to know, bro. But
Sure, buddy. Also, you know what's funny too, and I referred to this in my in very at the beginning of the episode where I was talking about the old guy in the bed. If you go back to that
old
area,
guy in bed.
yeah, if you go back to that area, that dude is just in the room that you find that you meet him
He
in.
just
He's
walks
just
around
no, he's just sleeping
or
in the bed.
sleeping.
Like, wait, you
Funny.
said you're like a vampire killer and you're just chilling? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
you whippersnapper
Yeah, you
need
back
to
in
take
my
care of
day.
business and leave because I'm sleeping.
Back in
I
my
don't
day, I
know.
didn't have any holy water. Like, you know,
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
silly. Oh my god. I was like, oh my god, this is classic like 90s Konami, Capcom, Resident Evil, Castlevania type of like silliness or campiness or whatever. Like that's just what it felt like, right? And it's not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
It's just so funny. So um yeah, I should have mentioned this off the top. But I have a little quiz for you, Jiggy, because I brought that back for this
Oh,
one.
nice.
But before we get to that, before we get to this, anything we might have missed that you want to make sure that we're chatting about with
Um,
these games?
I just wanted to like briefly highlight the graphics because we talked about like the
Yes,
differences
of
between
course.
like Legacy of Darkness and Castlevania 64. And actually, I would say that this game feels very on par graphically with maybe something like Ocarina of Time. And that
Sure. Yeah,
it's very
sure.
specific, but when I was playing the Legacy of Darkness version specifically,
Yeah.
I wanted to say Colin again, Cornell. Yeah, look at this. His face, the way he looked, his ears, everything reminded me of Link.
He
Like
looks
straight up.
so
I was like, he
like
looks
Link and
exactly like
character.
Link.
Yes. Yeah.
Look, even his
Also,
posture and how he's standing.
it looks like what's it called? Sheik? Shike? How do you say the name?
Chic,
Sheik?
chic.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of Sheik. That's
Yeah,
exactly who.
if you
Yeah.
replaced the color of his hair with green, he would look like
Yeah.
Link right now. Like straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also what's his face shows up here. From from Evil Dead with a chainsaw in his
Yeah.
hand.
Dude, that guy is freaking scary though. Like
Yeah,
just
I
like
can't believe
popping out of the corner, like he's terrifying looking.
this maze part was kind of annoying, but I figured it out eventually. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, the graphics, I think so similar, like we mentioned this when we were talking about Shadow Man, how it's like, oh, it's all very muted and samey kind of with some of the colors and stuff. This has, I think, a little bit more color than that game did because there's, like you were talking about the lighting, you're talking about some of the areas that are a little bit different. I think there's more varied environments in this than there is in Shadow Man, which I didn't really think there would be. I thought it'd be very much like, oh, gray, you're in the castle, you're outside and it's nighttime
Right.
or whatever. But there's some varied environments here and different areas that you interact with and stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, there's some shared elements from point A to point B, but like largely it's you get some variety here. Underground, you're outside, you're inside. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I thought it looked totally fine. Honestly, like I thought it looked good. So I don't think any of that was ever an issue for me. I didn't have any problem seeing
Nope.
things or understanding what was going on, which can sometimes happen if things look a little too muddy. Um, I thought it was good. Is it the best? No, but it's definitely not an issue. This was not a knock on the game at all, the way it looked. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's solid.
yeah,
It's solid.
yeah.
Like I said, it reminded me of Ocarina of Time, which I think is a fine. It looks fine.
Yeah, and I think some of the character animations are okay too. Some of it's a little bit stilted, but
Yeah, I
a
think
lot of games are with this. They have only so
this
much
guy's
space to work
jump
with.
this guy's
Yeah,
jump in particular was a little goofy to me. He looked like I remember at one point I was doing it and I was like, fa la 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 la. Like he literally looks like he's like frolicking in a field.
because
Like
he lifts his leg up like
he lifts
wee.
his leg up just a little too high that you have him
Yeah,
like questioning. Like, I don't know about this guy. Reinhardt was a
Why-
little better.
Reinhardt's is just sort of like a hop almost. Like he just sort of like
Yeah.
lifts. He just like a little jetpack comes out that doesn't exist. Like wee.
But look at this guy. I mean, he really kicks. He really like gives it his all. Like,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, it's hard to say play A over B, play Castlevania over Legacy of Darkness, but if it's easier to find or like I don't know, I don't want to steer someone in one direction or the other because I think either way you're going to get a pretty decent game and you're going to get a pretty decent time. If you want more variety and you want to play with more than just one, maybe two characters, then I guess Legacy of Darkness is there, but I don't know that it's vastly superior
I think
across the board. So
I'd steer people to play Castlevania 64 first And I
Yeah,
would
that's
say
fair.
like for the diehards that like really, really enjoyed it and want more, go back to Legacy of Darkness, and then you have more characters to play as. You can notice all the changes and sort of appreciate them if you like them. But
Yeah.
I think that the base Castlevania 64, like that's for me. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the one I should play because I could just get in, play the story, and get through it. Because I don't necessarily need to play the same levels as different characters, even if they're like slightly different.
Yeah.
That's something I would do if I was really, really into the game. And I mean, I'm into the game where I want to go and make sure I finish it and beat it. But I don't think I'm going to go back and play every single character. You know,
No,
it's
no, I wouldn't either. Like, I think I want to finish this game. Like, I'm gonna go back because I went, instead of replaying the first one, I went to Legacy of Darkness instead. Because I know that
right.
I only have like a third of the game left. I think I'm just gonna go back and just finish it that way. And I'm playing as the Cornell guy because that was just whatever what I went to initially. Um, but I haven't found that I'm having like a better time per se. So um yeah, I think like you said, some of the changes are not for the better, and that's just what happens. You know, that's just what they decided to do. But I think the original is a good time, and I think
It's
these
solid
games are
enough.
a lot better than what it appears the reputation has been over the years. Both of these games, I would say. So
Yeah. What is
that's
up with
nice. It's
that
a nice surprise.
reputation? I had heard from so many people that this game was like one of the worst N64 games, and
No.
I hope like my heart completely disagrees with that. My brain
Yep.
completely disagrees with that.
Yep.
I don't know why I said my heart. It felt like the right thing to say,
You
but I totally
you
disagree with that. This
it
game
felt
is
like
not
the
bad at
right thing to
all.
say.
This game is solid good time. Like
Yeah.
you will enjoy it. I question people that say it's one of the worst games. Like, what games have you played on the N64? Because this one's pretty solid. If you don't like
We
this one, bro, you're not gonna like anything.
Oh
Like,
man, there's stuff that's
there's
far
way
worse
worse
than
than
this.
this.
Far worse than
This
this.
is
Yeah.
this is not even one that I put on my okay to good chart. This is one I put on my straight like good. Like
Yeah,
I think it's right there.
I agree. I don't know if it's because my expectations were low or if it's just because it is just straight up a pretty good game. I just had a good time and I was like, this is good. I am having fun with this despite some of the sort of annoyances and some of the quirks here and there. Those things didn't deter me. Like I said, I went
Right.
through that pretty like honestly pretty annoying thing with the jar and the traversal and stuff like quite a few times, but I was determined to do it because I wanted to keep going. You know, I didn't want
Yeah.
to give up. I wanted to keep going. Other
Yeah.
aspects got in the way eventually because like what the fuck. But other than that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah. I think
So
everything like it was so well thought out because the first off, it's an early 3D game. Okay, it's 99. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess we're sort of mid like 3D first 3D generation like toward the end
Also, first for this
for this
franchise.
series. Yeah, like how to
So
translate
how
it.
do
And
you
then
do that?
right.
How do you take 6 or 7? I think it was or something like that. I'm gonna look it up because I had the list. How do you take 10 or a few less than that? Because there's like 26 Castlevania games or something. There's a fuck ton.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
how do
crazy.
you go from making 10 or a dozen 2D games to just 3D? Like, how do you translate that?
Yeah.
It's not. That's a tall
And
task,
I
honestly.
think they did a good job
Yeah,
because having the foresight to think about the white jewels and placing them in all these different areas where you know there's going to be frustration. It's sort of like a pseudo checkpoint system, which
yeah, it
it's
is.
so helpful and you can make
Yeah,
the decision like to save or not. But I would say anytime you see a white jewel and you feel like you've made some progress, like just save. It'll save you a headache. That's my little pro gamer tip right there.
yeah. You
Just
just
save.
save, and, and
Just
and
save.
sometimes you end up going back to that same location a little bit. You might pass that same jewel at a couple points. Just use it.
Just do it
Just do it.
again.
But I never felt annoyed by the save system, which is good. And I would actually, honestly, I kind of expected that too, that would be the case, and that wasn't the case, which was
Yeah.
nice. So there was, if you include some, it looks like there's maybe a couple or at least one Japan only release leading up to this. There was 14
Yeah.
Castlevania games before this. That's a lot to go from 1986 to this. There was
Yeah.
14 games over 13 years. Some of those are re-releases. Some of those are sort of like, I think Castlevania and Vampire Killer are out in the same year, but they're different characters, but it's kind of the same game. So it's not like there was a new one every single year. But anyways, how do you do that? I think they largely succeeded, and I think we're on the same
I think
page with
they've
that,
been running
which is
the
nice.
strategy of Legacy of Darkness for a while.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that's true. Yeah,
these sort of like added more content, pseudo sequel, not sequel,
yeah.
prequel, not prequel,
I still
additional
honestly
things.
do like the fact that if you are into the story, which I did get into it, it sounds like we both kind of did. It's cool that it's like,
You can
they
get
have a
more.
reason. They have a reason to make this. They didn't just add characters and hey, you play the same game. It's 8 years before. This is why you're in this area. This is why these two characters are going in. Like, at least there's that. So I give Legacy
You
of
know
Darkness
what?
credit for that.
What is the reason? Why did they make Legacy of Darkness?
Because from what I've researched and also what Paul had told me as well, when I was
Oh.
like, holy shit, you just blew my mind, was that this is kind of what they wanted to make in the first place and they didn't have
Oh,
time to.
right.
That's basically what it
They
is.
didn't have
Uh,
time and they felt like they wanted to finish their vision. I
that's right.
respect
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I totally respect that. Yeah.
Release the Snyder cut. That's what happened.
God, please don't. I don't need to waste 3 more hours of my life or however fucking long
That's
that
what they
was.
did. They added more. We
I
need
know
to
that
tell
is
a
actually
full
what they
story.
did.
They
Yeah.
just added more. That's
They
it.
just added more. That is actually what they
And they
did.
muted the
God.
colors. Didn't he do? Oh wait, he did a black and white version. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh my God. That's terrible. Castlevania, the Snyder cut. Yeah.
Yes,
Br-
Castlevania the Snyder cut.
brutal. Okay. We recommend these games. Whichever one you
Yep.
stumble upon, go for it. But I think we both are landing on just go with the regular Castlevania. I think more than Legacy of Darkness, and just go from there. And that's it. So,
Yeah. It's a good time.
um, yeah, it's a good time. Now, before we fully wrap up these two or these games, if you were to ask or if you were to tell someone, hey, you guys, or someone came to us and asked, hey, you played Shadow Man and you played Castlevania. Which one should they pick up and play if they want to play something in this last?
Oh.
We're doing a live stream a week before Halloween, recording this,
Mm.
but we have the release of this episode out on the feeds a few days before Halloween. If people are still in the spooky mode, or if they hear this leading up to spooky season next year or during it next year, uh, which do you think will be the sort of could be the go-to?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think I'd say Shadow Man.
Okay.
And the reason why I'd say Shadow Man, I actually think like gameplay wise, I'd prefer Castlevania. But the reason why I'd say Shadow Man is because I'm looking at it from all angles, and I think Shadow Man is the more accessible title because it is also on NSO expansion. And I
Mm,
think that is a great way to play that game.
okay.
So I think just purely for that reason, I'd be like, go for Shadow Man, play it on NSO. Um, but that being said, if you go to a garage sale or something or a video game store and you see Castlevania 64 sitting on that shelf, go for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. My heart leans toward Castlevania, but my like just
Practically
accessibility
speaking, yeah.
thinking, I think
Yeah.
Shadow Man's the way to go. And
I I think I'm with that too. I think those are all valid arguments and completely make sense. The only reason or the added reason why I would say Shadow Man is because it's much darker.
it's much
Like
darker, it's much scarier. Yeah.
yeah, it's scarier. Like if you want like look, you're not going to have jump scares. You're not going to be freaked out. Like you're going to watch a movie if you want to do that if you can compare it to these games. But if you want something that's got some really dark elements like we talked about in the episode, um Shadow Man's the way to go. But yes, gameplay wise, as up and down as some of the combat can be in Castlevania, I did enjoy it more than I did in Shadow Man. So
Mhm.
you're not just pressing shoot and that super loud pistol over and over and over again
Yeah.
like you do in
Yeah.
Shadow Man. So
There's much more variety. Much more
more
variety in your
variety,
weapons and
more.
everything.
Yes, I
I
agree.
would actually
So
say gameplay wise, they're actually fairly like similar in their platforming and movement, which is kind of
yeah,
funny. Like
yeah,
lock on, jump,
yep.
hang, like
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, the
similar
hanging. Yeah,
vibes.
yeah, that's true.
An action
And
adventure horror survival
and
game.
out only a few months apart from each other too. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever. That's crazy to me. And
yeah.
I was gonna say just a passing comment about the the main like castle, like when you first enter in and like that main area
Yes.
looks so Resident Evil. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
It's like they literally just like took that and put it in this game. And I was like, guys, what are we
If
doing
it
here?
if this was a
Like the layout.
Capcom game, I would have been like, oh, what do you like? Did you just reuse your assets? Like, like that's
Yeah, it's like 100% the same. Like you go up the main stairs and there's 4 doors.
there's the
And I'm
yeah you
just
go.
like,
It's
guys,
the first Resident Evil, the sort of opening area. Yeah,
there
exactly.
was no
It's like
shame with that.
it's like quiet but too quiet. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they did, yeah. I was that just sort of made me laugh because immediately it was like this looks exactly like Resident Evil, like
It
exactly.
had a lot of vibes, the campiness that you talked about before. Like there's a lot of that. The remakes of I think of the Resident Evil games kind of don't hold that in the same way. Not in a bad way because those games are still pretty good, but the original versions of those first
Yeah.
few Resident Evil games are super campy, and obviously the controls lead to that and those types of things. But like the voice acting's terrible, the writing's
Oh,
bad.
voice
Like
act. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it's
actually think the
just
voice acting is better in Castlevania than Resident Evil.
it is like, especially that opening crawl, the guy that's reading it and stuff is great.
Yeah.
I thought it was
He
it's a
was
vibe.
into it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works for me. So okay, Castlevania, check it out. Shadow Man, check it out. I think both of them are worth your time.
Worth spooky season.
Yeah, worth for spooky season for sure. And take some time. Both pretty large games are going to take you some time. So if you're watching this or hearing this, I think that it's going to take you a little bit of time, but I think stick with them. I think these games are worth playing to completion. So I would stick with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's get into a little bit of music quiz for Jiggy.
Music quiz. I love these. I
so
only
we
did
did
one,
this
but it's fun.
Yeah, really, I love these. These are my favorite things, but also I only did one. So the first time we did this, if anyone hasn't heard it, we did it on the Hot Wheels episode, and there was a couple of choices. So what I basically am going to do is I'm going to give them multiple choice, but before that, I'm going to play 2 songs, one of them that of N64 games, and I'm going to give them multiple choice, 4 choices. You're going to guess what they are. This time, so last time what I did was I just played the song. I just played the soundtrack, no sound effects, no nothing. This time, one of the songs does have some in-game. It's like captured in-game as opposed to just the music.
Okay.
So that's the second one. But the first one, let me pull it up here. I'm going to play it. And Jiggy is going to guess what this song is based on the multiple choice. Let me also pull up the multiple choice. Hold on here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, Jiggy.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit play.
Yep. I heard it briefly.
You heard it. I'm gonna press play again. Okay. So is it too
play.
loud, too quiet? I don't even know.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's good. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna stop it in whatever 10, 15 seconds or something, and I'll give you your choices. Ready, set, go. More coming.
I like
pretty good, eh? Pretty good.
Yeah,
I like it. It's quite joyful. Different from Castlevania.
Oh yeah, I know what this is. I thought I knew what it was at the beginning, but this just solidified it. It's Earthworm Jim 3D.
Oh, it is Earthworm Jim 3D. Damn it!
Yep.
Yeah. So the choices were
the polka.
Yeah, the polka thing. Yeah, the choices were Gex 64, Earthworm Jim 3D, Milo's Astro Lanes, or Paperboy. Those are the 3 or the 4 that I thought it would.
Oh yeah, it could, Paperboy could have been does have that similar vibe, but
yeah, at times
it's the polka. It's the polka accordion thing. That's Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, and it's called, if anyone wants to work, it's called, I think it was like called Pizza Delivery or some random name, like just and it's like the music from like the opening sort of like farm area thing. It's just like, why is that the name of it? It's just random.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
No one knows. Now, if I press this, can you hear this? Is it playing yet?
No. Oh, yeah.
No, not
yep.
There? Okay. There you go. I'll let that play for a bit and then give you your choices. This is the one that has the gameplay, obviously, in it.
think I got it.
Oh, you think you got it? Okay, all right,
I
all right.
think. I
There's a
think.
few.
I'm gonna
There's a
wait
few
for
more
the.
seconds left. Like, keep going. Keep going. I'll give you your choices.
Give me my choices.
Okay.
If my choice is in there, I'll know. Otherwise, maybe let's do it
Yeah,
again.
maybe.
But I think
Okay, so the choices here are A, Penny Racers, B, Top Gear Overdrive, C, Iggy's Wrecking Balls, or D, Rampage 2 World Tour.
oh, that's C. That's Iggy's Wrecking Balls. That's what I thought it
It
was.
is Iggy's Wrecking
Yeah.
Balls. Look at
Heck yeah.
you.
2 for 2.
Oh.
You know what the sound was? I wouldn't have known,
Yeah.
but the sound of the like little whip that they do to like or the
Yes.
tether, the leash, it's
This,
like a very
the,
specific like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh sound.
yes, because you have to keep
And
going up and up and up.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
if it
yeah.
didn't have that and it was just the music, there's no way I would have gotten that. But
Yeah,
with that
because the
sound
music
effect, yeah,
is good, but it's
it's
somewhat
like
generic.
yeah, it's like
So
electronic N64 music. It's
yeah,
like
that's
that.
kind of
What was the one you got me with where it was like Robotron or
or
Tetris
Tetrasphere.
Sphere? And I
Yeah.
was like, I was going between those two. And I'm like, those
Yeah.
get tough. Those
Yeah.
get tough.
Okay, so there, wow, 2 for 2. So you're
Boom.
3 for 4.
Oh yeah, I
You're
am.
3 for 4. Look at you. I think you gotta test me at some point. You gotta test. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
all of
I
it
will.
wrong. I'm 100% gonna get all of them wrong.
I
So,
will test you.
and I don't know why the sound was acting up this time, but you got to hear it, and it's fine. I'll just
We
do a
got
little
it.
bit of editing. So we got it. We got it. Okay, so this has been a lot of fun. I'm happy that we got to do a live stream, which we'll do every once in a while, and appreciate people checking in, including Tim and Paul for sure. Um, Keep an eye on social media. We'll sort of and YouTube, and we'll try to sort of do things like this every once in a while if we get a chance to. But otherwise, lots of fun episodes coming up. If you are sitting here in late October when this episode comes out, or you're sitting here in the chat room with us, we have a couple games and a couple guests coming up that are going to be a lot of fun. December, we're going to have at least one game that is going to be a Mortal Kombat based game because there is going to be a Mortal Kombat collection coming out there that is going to have like, I think it's like 15 Mortal Kombat games or something on Switch and Xbox and PlayStation, Steam and stuff like that. And I thought
Heck
this is a
yeah,
good
Tim.
opportunity. Yeah, this is a good opportunity to revisit one of the few Mortal Kombat games on the N64. We have a couple to choose from, but here we are. And you know what, Tim? You know what? Since you just mentioned it, yes, Space Station Silicon Valley is on the list very soon. So just so you know, I've had
Oh yeah.
yourself and a couple of other people say, like, this is something that you guys got to cover, you got to play. Something I know Jiggy has
Yep.
lots of experience with. I have absolutely zero. I know almost nothing about it, despite the hype around it and the sort of demand that we should cover it. So that is going to be coming up. And the plan is, at the moment, the plan is to have that come up before the end of 2025. Along with Mortal Kombat being one of those as well. So lots to look forward to. Jiggy, look back. How's everything going on YouTube and what's coming up maybe in the
Oh,
next
fantastic.
few
Okay.
weeks or so?
First off,
Yeah.
I wanna just shout out the channel right now. This channel, Remember 64. We're just trying to grow it, trying to make it a bigger deal. You know, we do the podcast where all podcast things go, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. But there is this YouTube variant. So 231 subscribers. Let's get that up to 23,100 subscribers in like the next week. That'd be great.
In a week.
Definitely drop a
Easily in
like.
a week. Yeah.
Definitely drop a like if you haven't. It really helps us out, and it'll be cool to keep growing this channel and get this. The more it grows, the more production, the more effort we put into it. So it's going to be awesome. And speaking of production and effort, go check out my channel because that's where all my production and effort goes. Jiggy Look Back, and actually this coming Friday, I'll be playing
Halloween.
Grab by the Ghoulies on Halloween. I'm gonna
Nice.
be doing from start to finish Grab by the Ghoulies. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna have some
Great game.
little special video clips that I'm playing in between that are gonna be like funny little skits and stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
skits.
gonna be a different kind of live stream, something I've never really done before. I'm
So
just gonna try and make it
it's gonna be
super fun.
Friday Night Live instead of Saturday Night Live. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Friday Night Live, Grab by the Ghoulies. It's
Grab
gonna
it.
be legit.
That's awesome. That's great. That's a great game. I'm gonna try and I usually start a little bit earlier than I'm available to stream or to record or things like that. I'm gonna try and pop in. My goal at the moment, I know we're we're saying this a week before this happens. You'll get this episode out, audio and video form before Halloween. But my hope is that I can play, if not on Friday night, but soon after, and release a video. But I hope to live stream Kirko Mod's new mod of
Oh
Banjo
yeah, that'd be
Kazooie.
cool.
That's my goal, because he made 2 full worlds that are very like dark Halloween based in Banjo Kazooie. Which, if anyone hasn't watched or listened, we did Nostalgia 64 a few months ago, which was just such a blast, and like a completely full new game, which was awesome. It's in the same vein. It's a couple of worlds. He sort of themed things around the Halloween season and stuff. And he's releasing it to the public on Halloween, early access if you're a patron before that. I'm going to grab it and play it, and hopefully do a live stream of it. Because it's 2 worlds, that maybe I can stream it in a couple hours kind of thing. So that's my goal. If not, I'm going to play it and put a video out regardless. So we're both
Heck
doing
yeah.
some end of spooky season type stuff. But Grab by the Ghoulies, man, great game, great choice. That's
Oh,
awesome.
it's gonna be a blast. I'm so excited to
Yeah.
play it.
Had you played it before, or?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
I've
don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I played through it. I actually have my original Xbox copy. Oh, I guess it's actually on the shelf. You can't see, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's on the top shelf. It's a top
Nice.
shelf game.
It's
Yeah,
a top
super.
shelf
It's a
game.
top shelf game. It's really fun. I just love it. It's so silly. It's one of those games you just go in. You don't really have to take anything too seriously and just have a good
Right.
time. I
Right.
I like to play it like every Halloween. And I actually like every year I'm like, I'm gonna do something on Luigi's Mansion. And then I see like a billion channels do things on Luigi's Mansion. And now it just
Yes.
dropped on NSO for GameCube. And so it
Dude,
just sparked another like billion channels doing stuff on Luigi's Mansion. I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything on Luigi's Mansion again this year.
I'm so excited to play that, because I have most of my Luigi's Mansion experience um on the 3DS. That's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've played the GameCube one,
Oh,
but like we've talked about before, I never owned one. I had friends that had it, but I've never played that from start to finish. I've played a decent chunk of it, I would say. But the 3DS one, I think is amazing. I've played it like 6 times or something. I have very few 3DS games, so maybe that's why. But
yeah, probably.
um, but I like
It's
it.
good.
I mean,
Yeah, it's good.
it's a fun game. And then I've played, what, there's one of, is it 2? I think 2. I've played 2. But the first one I've never actually really played a ton. So I'm so excited that it's on there. That
Yeah.
might be something that
First,
I play over the course of the next week on my own time. Like, I think that's like what I'll play on the train to and from work and
it's a
stuff.
good one.
I'm so excited to play it. It's great. And I have yet to play 3. I want
Oh,
to pick that
okay.
up.
So you're
So
not very
yeah,
versed in the mansion of Luigi.
I do not. I'm not much with the Luigi vacuum lore. So
Okay. And it's funny.
I want
So
to,
the 3DS one, so you're talking about 2 or the remake?
whichever the one is on 3DS. I don't know.
Well, they
Dark
remade the
Moon. Is it
original.
called Dark
Dark
Moon?
Moon is the sequel, yeah.
Okay,
So
so that's the
so
one I
they
play a
did
lot of.
they had the original GameCube one, which is the first Luigi's Mansion, and then
Yes,
they made the
yes.
sequel that released on the 3DS, which is Dark Moon. And then they made a remake of the GameCube one also on 3DS, just the
Oh,
original Luigi's Mansion,
so I've played that one. Oh, okay.
maybe. And
No,
then
I
they made
have. I know
Luigi's
I have, because
Mansion 3 on the Switch.
I've played 2 different Luigi's Mansions on 3DS.
Yeah, so that's a remake of
But
the GameCube one, but the GameCube one's
uh
superior. It
okay.
is.
Okay. So Dark Moon is the one that I've played 5 or 6 times. That's
Yep.
the one
And now they
that
have now you can
okay.
play all if you have expansion pass, you can actually play all 3 on Switch, which is kind of cool. Or
Oh, they have a
Switch 2,
3.
I guess. Is
They have
GameCube
2.
NSO on Switch or just Switch 2?
Switch 2. It's just Switch 2.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can play all 3 on Switch 2, which is kind of how I would do it. I will say in my opinion, 1 is the best. The vibes are just unmatched. Then 3 and then 2 because 2 is very linear. It's kind of different than the other 2,
I
but that's
I
not to say
I
it's
like
bad.
it. Yeah, no, I've liked Dark Moon quite a bit. I think, again, part of it was, what's actually interesting. I've played it a lot, um, because I don't have that many 3DS games. I'd play it when I first got it, and I was like, oh, this is great. I've never finished, Luigi's Mansion at the time. I hadn't played it fully, um, and I would pick it up like a year later, and I'd play it on summer vacation sort of thing over the course of a week. It's not super long. It's like maybe like 5-6 hours, something like that. And I could do that
Mhm.
over the course of the week while I wasn't working. I could play 3DS with or without the 3D on, like at the dock or having a beer, at the cottage, sort of idea. I'm like, oh, it just feels like it's got the vibe, but it's also very goofy and friendly and things like that. I'm like, this is just like a perfect different type of Mario game. If I want to play Super Mario World, or if I want to play a Mario game, I'll just play that. But or I'll play Yoshi's Island for the 7,000th time or something. But I want something a little bit different, but still with the Mario vibes. That's, I think, why I kept going back to it. So,
Yeah, it's cool.
um,
It's definitely cool. I think the Luigi's Mansion was such a good, like one of those unique spin-offs that feels still Mario but feels like totally different at the same time, and I
100%.
really appreciate it. Like
Yeah,
it's
they needed
awesome.
to do something with Luigi that was his own thing.
That was
And
worthwhile and
it's,
different.
yeah, it's worthwhile. It's very unexpected, but it fits. And maybe it just fits because like it's been 25 years since they've been doing it, but also it still just works even if it was brand new this year. Like even if 3
Right.
was the first one, you'd be like, "Oh, that's great. That makes sense. That's the Luigi vibe and that works." So, um yeah, you're right. It's just one of those ones that just feels right. And it anyways, Luigi's
And
Mansion
if you
added to
want
the
a
list.
super weird connection to Luigi's Mansion, I did a video which you might have seen about Mickey's magical,
Yes.
what is it? Mickey's magical mirror or something like that.
Magic Mirror, Magical Mirror, yeah.
Magic, yeah, I think it's magical mirror. I can't remember. It is on the GameCube. It is a super weird point and click game. Yes, a point and click game in a mansion. Similar vibes to Luigi's Mansion, and the reason it has similar vibes to Luigi's Mansion is because Shigeru Miyamoto like produced it,
Oh,
which
I
is
didn't know
like
that part. I
it's
or forgot about that.
such
Yeah.
an odd such an odd game because it's like it's a Disney Mickey Mouse point and click, and Shigeru Miyamoto had a hand in it, and it
Yeah.
definitely like graphically and like even
It looks cool.
contextually,
I like
like
the way it looks. I like the way it looks.
yeah, it's
Definitely. Yeah.
it sucks, but it's so I feel like I need to mention it because it's like very Luigi's Mansion-y. And
Right.
it's
Right.
kind of one that I would say if people want like a very unique experience for Halloween, like it's really not a scary game, but it's still like it deals with a ghost and it deals with like a
Yeah.
haunted
Right.
mansion, and
Right.
it's kind of one of those things like you want a really bad game to play for Halloween that you might have fun. Like it's so bad you might have fun. Try that one. All
Yeah.
these other
Which
games were, I guess we're just recommending good games, so I was like I'm going to recommend a bad game.
yeah, I can't think of like I've never been like a massive like horror game, like more strictly horror type game. So I can't be like,
I
oh
want
I
to let me grab the box because
yeah, yeah, grab it, yeah.
you're not going to believe this.
No, so while Jiggy walks away and grabs that, I watched the video. Not really. I think I knew of the game, but I didn't really know anything about it or whatever. I I don't frequently seek that out. I mean, sure, me and Jiggy are buddies and stuff, but like I don't really seek out stuff of games or movies or something that I haven't seen or at least partially experienced. This was one of the ones where I was like, I just gotta watch what he's saying about this
You
thing,
gotta
and
know. You gotta
it's a
know.
solid video. Yeah, you gotta know. Honestly, you gotta know.
So I got the Luigi's Mansion
Right.
box and the Mickey Mouse box. So I bought this game.
Yeah.
How much did I buy it for? $20, which is
Oh
actually
yeah, that's
way
pretty
more
good.
than it's worth, in my
Oh
opinion. But
really?
it
Oh,
is.
I thought it was like, oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, it's no, it's like a $5 game. But I mean,
Okay,
it's a good price. It's a good official price. But like the game
you can
itself is
find.
not. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you.
But the back. This is what sold me on it. Look how awesome it looks on the back. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on,
Let's see if we focus.
focus, you dang thing.
I can see the art style of it and stuff. Right, the sort of
So
yeah.
it like
Here,
I
actually, hold
mean,
on. Let me zoom in. Wait.
so you
Oh,
can zoom
wrong
in.
zoom in. Oh, wrong zoom in. How do I zoom
Wow,
in on you?
3 times the
Ah,
charm.
what the?
Ah, extreme close up.
There we go.
Ah,
Ah, hey, there he is.
I can't really seem to get it to focus. I want this to focus. Come on. Here, focus on my fingers. Do something. Oh my gosh, camera, come on. I don't know why it won't do it. But it's got like all these things, all these elements that make it look like this awesome like platformer. Like Mickey's on the
Right.
couch freaking out. He's like giant with some forks. He's like changing a light bulb on a
Giant with
chair.
some
Like,
forks.
yeah, it looks crazy. Like everything about it just looks insane. And then you get to the game, it's freaking point and click. And it's not a good one. But yeah, it's apparently it has some Game Boy Advance connectivity functionality that I didn't know. If you can
Hey, that's something.
connect it to a Game Boy Advance that's playing Disney's Magical Quest starring Mickey and Minnie. But yeah, its official title is Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse. It's just such a bizarre game, and you think it'd be like Luigi's Mansion. It's not.
It's just
It's
not.
totally
Yeah.
different, but it's
They're
very
just trying to
yeah.
get you. Trying to get
It's
you.
just
Yeah.
very interesting. Definitely, if you haven't watched, go watch my video on it. It's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
watch the video. I was again, like I said, if I don't have any experience with something, I'm just like, I'm gonna avoid it. Maybe there's spoilers, especially with movies. I'm just very much like, I don't like, even like we're watching like TV shows or movies, or we were watching an episode of something the other day, or maybe it was a movie. Yeah, it was a movie. And my wife's like, oh, she wanted to go to bed. She's getting tired. And I was like, oh, she's like, how much time is left? You know, you're streaming something, you just press like the
Yeah,
arrow button and it shows you how much time's left. I'm like, I don't even want to know how much time is left in this movie because I don't want an expectation of when the resolution is going to be coming. So I turned away and I'm like, okay, I'll listen to it while you look at the thing. Tell me when the little graphic goes away. And that's how that's how like my brain goes. So when it
yeah,
comes to a game and I haven't even had any hands on with it, I typically am just like,
fair.
I don't have a GameCube, so I'm not even going to go and like potentially even play this. And because it's you, I was like, I got to watch this. I got to take it in. And it was worth it. It was worth it.
You know, it's funny. Like, it's just sometimes I make content regularly about Rare, right? That's my
Yes.
thing. Like, Rare's my
Yes.
thing, and then it sort of branches off into Nintendo a little bit, and I got a couple Earthworm Jim things, a couple
A
Sonic
couple of
things, some
PlayStation
Rayman,
things. Yeah.
couple PlayStation like platformers too. Like, I stick in that little area, but then I just found this Mickey Mouse game. I'm like, it's the most odd. Like, I got to make a video. Like, I just bought it to play it because I thought it looked interesting, and I
Yeah.
played it, and I was like, this is something I need to make a video on because it's ridiculous.
It's not that simple. It's not that simple. I got to keep going. I got to do more.
So I played through the whole game and I beat it, and then I made a video on it, and it's like it's
What?
like one of those really odd. Like, you look at all my channel stuff, you're like, that makes sense. That makes sense. What is
Yeah,
this?
what the fuck?
And there's a reason. I'm glad I could talk
That's
about it for no reason because I just decided to.
all the reasons, man, all the
Like,
reasons.
even now in this podcast, I'm like, why am I talking about this?
I'm all for it. Hey, let's
It's
just
just so
talk
weird.
about. We got to talk about the oddities. I like it. You can't just be in one lane. Sometimes you gotta veer
Right.
a little bit.
It's
So.
like, but like, it wasn't just a veer. It was like a total, like, just random, like, just
I
pulled
mean,
something out.
watching the video, yes and no. I don't know. I mean, it's still your style. It's still you. I wouldn't say that it's completely out of nowhere.
Well, the
Stuff.
game is.
The game itself is, yes. The game itself is. That's fair.
Chiggy's got to do Jack and Daxter. I agree. It's on the list.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I'm all over the place with Jack and Daxter games. I couldn't tell you which ones I've played, even though I've played like at least 3 of them. I probably the first, probably the third, but after that I couldn't tell you. Yeah, those are cool games. So there you go. 3D platforming. Good, PlayStation era stuff. There you go. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching, listening here live, or afterwards. I hope everyone has a very safe and fun, candy-filled Halloween.
Yes.
And enjoy your spooky games or semi-spooky games or Mickey Mouse point and clicks, whatever floats your boat. And that's pretty much it. We got some good stuff, like I said, coming up. So lots to look forward to. End of 2025 is going to be hopefully a banger, and everybody stick around to be on this journey with us. Find us here at Remember 64 on YouTube and across social media, and of course on your podcast feed as well. Jiggy Look Back on YouTube. Play some Castlevania, play some Shadow Man, enjoy spooky season. Chat to everybody soon. Goodbye.
Ooh.